Alright people, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you'll know when I upload the next video and you'll be supporting my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Every time I upload a new video, I'll be tweeting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Reaction and this is 43 facts about US even most Americans don't know. By the channel Bright Side. You probably heard the Statue of Liberty was a gift to the US, but did you know the statue was once a lighthouse? Yeah, I knew that. I mean, that's whenever you saw that, mafia movies, right? When Italians came to the USA, it's always shown the, Statue of Liberty being a lighthouse or something. I'm pretty sure I remember that. Oh yeah, there are so many facts about the US you might have never heard even if you lived here your whole life. Yeah, okay. 43 facts, it's gonna be fun. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. Check out other reaction, there's a link in the description. Check out the cards for different places, check out the end cards in. Yeah, let's watch it.
With a population of only 730,000, Alaska is home to almost 8,000 pilots. That's more than 1% of the entire state. There are 6 times more pilots and 16 times more aircraft per person than in the rest of the country.
Not much to
drive
on.
It might seem strange for most people, but flying is a big part of life in Alaska. Despite being the biggest state in America, bigger than the next 3 biggest states combined, it has one of the smallest networks of roads in the country. Only 20% of the land is accessible by road. So, having a boat or a plane makes it a lot easier to get from point A to point B. Being less built up has its advantages as well, though. Alaska has 16 national parks, more than 12,000 rivers, and around 100,000 glaciers. If you want to get closer to nature, Alaska would be an incredible place to visit. You can even see the Aurora Borealis there. When most
Damn, okay. And it kind of makes sense since there is not much of road. I remember from the real life Lord, I think there was one place in basically Alaska where there is not much place to, I guess, go. So it's one building that acts as a town. Entire building is a town. The shops and everything is inside one building, right? Which is fucking surreal, and there is no roads or anything goes there. I guess there's a train, I think, that comes and goes, I guess, once every month or two. Yeah, that's just surreal to think about.
People think of the coast, they imagine golden beaches and palm trees, but Alaska actually has the most coastline in America. Yeah. No other state even comes close, with Alaska having 5 times as much coastline as second place Florida. Alaska has the lowest population density. It has such a small population relative to its size that if Manhattan had the same density of people, only 16 people would live there. Now, New York City is far smaller than Alaska in terms of geographical size, but more people live there than in almost 40 other states. There are more than 27,000 people in 1 square mile of the city.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hey, speaking of other states, only 1 letter doesn't appear in any state name. Q.
That's really gonna change.
Arizona produces so much cotton every year.
And New York City thing makes sense. Concrete jungle. There's a reason why it said that, right? Every building is basically a massive skyscraper.
They can make 2 t-shirts for every American out there. Get equipped for any season with brand new Bright Side merch. Click the link and grab your print. The Empire State Building is so big, it even has its own zip code, 10118. It's like a city of its own. If you're on the street and somebody drops a penny from the top of the Empire State Building, no worries. The faster it falls, the more air resistance increases, so it won't reach a speed high enough to cause much harm.
It would still
might sting a little, though.
Yeah.
Scientists discovered a unique species of ant that only live in New York City. They were found in just one 14-block strip. They've been nicknamed Manhattans.
Hey, I'm walking over here.
Sounds like one of my puns, but no, I can't claim credit. The United States' first ever commercial passenger flight happened in 1914. It took just 23 minutes and only traveled a short distance within Florida, from St. Petersburg to Tampa. Yet people paid $400 for the luxury, which would be $8,500 today. The oldest city in the U.S. that has been continuously inhabited is St. Augustine, Florida. It was founded in 1565.
Woo.
Mount Everest is famous for being the tallest mountain in the world, but that's only true if you consider mountains that are above sea level. There's a volcano in Hawaii called Mauna Kea that's actually taller if you measure from its bottom at the seafloor. It is 33,500 feet tall from base to peak, while Mount Everest measures in at a little bit more than 29,000 feet. When in Hawaii, try not to get too close to Kilauea. It's one of the most active volcanoes on our planet.
Yeah, obviously, Everest is surrounded by small mountains and it's not direct slope. But in the end, if you are really counting, bottom to the top, Mount Everest is not really that, high compared to this other one. So this is, I'm trying to process that. Before you even come close to Everest, right, you'll be already higher above the ground because you're already walking on mountains by that point. And then you see the peak. And the peak is the one that gives you the awe, like holy shit, how top that is. But this Hawaii one, right, if you're literally on the ground and about to see up, how high that would look, goddamn.
It's been constantly erupting for over 35 years now. The longest it's been inactive was around 18 years, all the way back to the middle of the 20th century. The United States, China, and Argentina are home to the most dinosaur fossils in the world.
Yeah.
They have the most individual fossils and the widest variety of species. Speaking of fossils, Hollywood has been around making movies for more than 100 years, from 1910 to be precise. The wild Mustang is an iconic animal and likely one of the main things that comes to your mind when you picture the old American West. But Mustangs are not native to the States. They were actually imported during the 16th century.
Obviously.
In 2019, farmers in the U.S. produced over 13.5
Horses weren't a thing, I guess, in Native America, right? I think I remember that from CGP Grey video. Yeah.
billion bushels of corn. Wow! That amount could fill almost 70 million football fields. Hey, what would happen if we popped all that corn? The Statue of Liberty was gifted to the United States by France. Part of its intended use originally was to be as a lighthouse. It guided ships for 16 years, using its torch that was visible from 24 miles away.
Yeah.
The U.S. decided to send a similar gift back and gave France a smaller Statue of Liberty 3 years
small.
later. You can still see that one today.
Okay.
It's currently in Paris. There are over 14,000 McDonald's restaurants. But Montpelier, Vermont is actually the only state capital that doesn't have a McDonald's. McDonald's once created broccoli that tasted of bubblegum to make a healthy option more enticing. Unsurprisingly, it didn't work out. The microwave was designed by an inventor named Percy Spencer. His amazing creation was only rewarded with a $2 bonus, $29 accounting for inflation.
Now what the fuck? That's just fucked up. That is capitalist America, right? Right there. Somebody basically, offered you a job or contract or anything. Now, any invention you can come up with, that company owns that invention, not you. I mean, I kind of understand that, right? Company paid for the research of whatever it costed, right? Whatever, your expenses, whatever you wanted, a bit of expenses here and there. But that doesn't justify taking credit for the entire invention. Inventions are priceless, right? If there is one commodity of the entire world in our history, basically it's the inventions. Inventions pushed our civilization forward. Inventions are priceless, right? I mean, you could say 40% is company's, 60% is yours. That understandable because we paid for everything, right? And it's your invention, so 40% is ours, 60% of your or something like that. But I guess owning the entire thing and just giving you $2, that's just fucked up. Like, are you kidding me? So what, you paid for all the research and everything? My innovation is priceless. What, somebody else was going to come up with it? Come on.
The USA prints 26 million bills a day. Each note can cost up to 11 cents to produce, mostly in ink and materials. They go through 9 tons of ink per day. The paper money in the US also isn't made of paper at all.
Cotton,
It's actually 75% cotton and 25% linen. In Montana, there are more cows than people. Humans are outnumbered almost 3 to 1.
Yeah.
An average American spends 4.4 years at every job. If you take an elevator to the top of Chicago's Willis Tower during a clear day,
Willis.
you can see up to 40 to 50 miles away.
Wait a minute, Willis, wasn't it Shears Tower? What, they renamed it? That's weird.
Which means you'll see 4 states: Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Illinois.
What? Did I miss something?
Willis Tower during a clear day, you can see up to 40 to 50 miles away, which means you'll see 4 states: Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Illinois.
How can you see something 50 miles away when you can see that many states? Chicago is in a unique place that all the other states are very close by. 50 miles is nothing, right? How can you see all the states?
In Arkansas, you're not allowed to honk your horn when in front of a sandwich shop. True.
What?
This one probably tops all these strange laws. In Georgia, it's illegal for a chicken to cross the road. Well, so much for that joke.
You're under arrest. Puck, 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 puck. Tell that to the judge.
Meanwhile, in Connecticut, you can't cross the street walking on your hands. When you're in Baltimore, Maryland, you can't bring your lion to the movies with you.
What the fuck?
If you're tired of seeing giant
Where,
billboards
which city?
cross the street walking on your hands. When you're in Baltimore, Maryland,
Baltimore, Maryland. How much of a nuisance that was that people had to make a law about it? How many people showed up with their lions?
you can't bring your lion to the movies with you. If you're tired of seeing giant billboards on the side of the road, you should go to Hawaii. They banned billboards in 1920.
Okay.
The U.S. is in the top 10 countries in the world when it comes to biodiversity. 3/4 of the world's tornadoes happen in the U.S.
Yeah,
Gee,
Tornado
aren't
Valley.
we lucky?
I think just 1 or 2 days ago, there was so many tornadoes hit in one place. There was a news somewhere, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I saw news that in US that happened, right? That's just fucked up. Too many tornadoes, I guess. Last year and year before that. I'm pretty sure that 2020, there were many tornadoes there, if I remember correctly. I do watch Pecos Hang, so yeah. I think there were many tornadoes compared to all the other previous years. But this year, they just basically at once that many tornadoes and destroyed places. What the fuck?
The Florida Everglades is the only place on the planet where crocodiles and alligators coexist. Alligators have shorter and more rounded snouts, while crocodiles have long, pointy snouts. When an alligator shuts its mouth, you won't see its teeth. But when a crocodile does it, its back teeth stick
You'll
up
see
over its
nightmares.
top lip. Frankly, I don't want to get close enough to confirm that's true. Lake Superior
When alligator closes its mouth, you think, oh, nice. When crocodile closes its mouth, you'll see nightmares.
is the world's largest freshwater lake. It's so big that if you emptied it out, you could cover the entire landmass of North and South America under a foot of water.
Oh, okay.
Americans built the Hoover Dam to control floods, produce hydroelectric energy, and for irrigation water. Its construction used so much concrete that it could be stretched across the entire country or used to build a 2-lane highway from New York City to San Francisco. Americans love pizza so much, they eat around
New York to San Francisco. Holy shit, that's a lot. I didn't know Hoover Dam had that much concrete in it. Yeah. I guess NCR and Legion one day will fight for it.
on 100 acres of it every day. If we took water from all the rivers on Earth and poured it into the Grand Canyon, the canyon would only be half full. The entire area could hold 2 quadrillion gallons of water. That's 2 with 15 zeros.
Holy shit.
The title for the fastest speaking state goes to Oregon. Some scientists studied more than 4 million phone calls and found that Oregon, Massachusetts, and the upper Midwest states have the fastest speech patterns. You can find the word Peachtree in the names of over 70 streets in Atlanta, Georgia. Peachtree Circle, Peachtree Street, Peachtree Center Avenue, and so on.
Peachtree's from there?
Crater Lake in Oregon is the deepest lake in the U.S. at almost 2,000 feet deep. The lake is technically an active volcano, but it hasn't erupted recently, so it's safe to swim in at certain times. But boy, is it cold. Uh-oh, the power just went out again. In a lot of cases in the U.S., this is caused by animals. More than 1,000 outages are caused by animals per year, and squirrels contribute to about 10% of those. Yellowstone National Park is more than 11,000
Look at that.
to about
Look at those assholes nibbling away at your wire, causing outages.
10% of those. Yellowstone National Park is more than 11,000 years old and bigger than Delaware and Rhode Island combined.
It's a volcano.
It has over 10,000 geysers, hot springs, mud pots, and other hydrothermal features, which is half of the total number you can find in the entire world. Just don't go swimming in them. It'll, cook you.
Yeah. Well, it's a super volcano, so it makes sense. Yeah, some of them were really good, but a good one was really late of the video. He should have put them really fast, I guess, to capture people. I don't know. Some of them were really good, but yeah. The Chicago one, I mean, that's, I don't know geographically where Chicago is, right? Probably it's near the border of different states. Because how can you see different states just for 50 miles? Especially in the United States, with every states are fucking big, right? States are gigantic, hundreds and hundreds of miles. So yeah. Alright people, that was 43 facts about the US even most Americans don't know. Yeah, I didn't know a lot of them. It was some of them were kind of understandable, like Alaska one, right? More flight and pilots in Alaska makes sense. Not much of ground control there, not much of transportation on the ground. You have to rely on planes. But yeah, if you like my Rickson, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the Rickson. There's a link in the description. Check out the cars, check out the end cards. Follow me on Twitter, and yeah, I'll see you next time.